Recent reports have generated significant buzz in the media regarding a momentous development unfolding in Jerusalem. Specifically, there has been extensive discourse surrounding the potential construction of the Third Temple, a location of immense importance to many. However, a simmering conflict over the Temple Mount and groundbreaking research findings by scientists have added intriguing dimensions to this story. So, when can we expect the construction of this temple, and why does it hold global significance? Stay tuned as we delve into this video to unveil the details. Rewinding to 1969, a startling incident occurred when a Christian tourist named Dennis Michael Rohan, hailing from Australia, set fire to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, an extraordinarily sacred site for Muslims. What drove someone to commit such a sacrilegious act at a place of worship? The answer lies in the broader aspiration of erecting the Third Temple in Israel. This concept has been a topic of discourse and contention for centuries, igniting debates and disputes between Christians and Muslims alike. The Third Temple holds paramount significance, particularly for the Jewish community. If it comes to fruition, it would become their most revered sanctuary. Nevertheless, its import transcends even that. According to various prophecies, some believe that the construction of this temple holds the key to a transformative era's arrival. People have eagerly anticipated this moment for an extended period, as it is intimately tied to the notion that the Third Temple must be built for the arrival of the Messiah. The concept of the Third Temple revolves around the idea of re-establishing a sacred edifice in Jerusalem, following in the footsteps of Solomon's Temple and the Second Temple, both of which met their demise in historical events. Although it remains unbuilt thus far, the idea and yearning for the Third Temple hold profound sanctity within Judaism, particularly in Orthodox Judaism. It is regarded as the holiest site for Jewish worship, and the Hebrew Bible indicates its construction either before or during the Messianic era. The erection of the Third Temple also carries significant weight in certain Christian beliefs pertaining to end times eschatology. It is considered a pivotal element in forthcoming events. The notion of a Third Temple in Jerusalem is rooted in the belief that a new temple will eventually stand there. Divergent religious perspectives exist regarding its significance and the timeline for its realization. For some, it forms an integral part of the Messianic age, while others may interpret it differently. This concept is intricately linked to eschatology and varies among various Jewish denominations and traditions. Temples are considered the dwelling places of God in Jewish tradition. The First and Second Temples held central positions in Jewish religious practices, symbolizing a direct conduit between the Jewish people and the divine. Temples epitomize the spiritual and cultural core of Judaism, serving as a reflection of the enduring Jewish connection to the land of Israel. The Second Temple in Jerusalem was a complex structure with distinct areas serving specific religious purposes. The innermost chamber, the Holy of Holies, housed the Ark of the Covenant, containing the Ten Commandments. The holy place held ritual items, and the temple complex featured a courtyard for various rituals, including animal sacrifices, on the altar of burnt offerings. Surrounding the temple were storage rooms and facilities. Solomon's Temple, the First Temple, built in the 10th century BC, was destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BC. The Second Temple, begun in 538 BC and expanded by King Herod the Great in 19 BC, served as a central religious and cultural institution for the Jewish people until its destruction by the Romans in 70 CE. Despite the importance of a temple in Israel, the anticipation of a Third Temple has not led to swift construction due to the complex nature of the topic. The temple's location, associated with the city of David, has sparked excitement and debate. Recent discoveries suggest a well-organized kingdom from the time of King David. Debates about the temple's original location persist, introducing new theories. The saga of Jerusalem's Temple Mount involves historical events, religious transitions, and conflicting claims centered on the elusive construction of the Third Temple. Understanding this complex narrative requires exploring intertwined histories and faiths. Let's explore the cycle of destruction and renewal in Jerusalem's history. Jerusalem has experienced a recurring pattern of temple destruction followed by rapid reconstruction. After the Roman conquest in 70 CE and the destruction of the Second Temple, the city underwent significant changes. The Romans renamed it Aelia Capitolina and established a Roman colony. Jerusalem faced substantial challenges in its recovery. Islam's emergence on the Temple Mount marked another significant chapter. After the Second Temple's destruction, Islam made its presence felt on this sacred site, driven by the Prophet Muhammad's night journey. This transformed the Temple Mount into the third holiest site in Islam, following Mecca and Medina. Two iconic structures, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, became integral to both religious and historical identities. The night journey, known as Isra and Miraj in Islam, holds profound spiritual and theological importance. Prophet Muhammad's miraculous journey from the Kaaba in Mecca to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem unfolded in a single night. The Isra phase involved leading prayers, while the Miraj featured an ascent through the seven heavens, culminating in a direct encounter with God. This journey validated Muhammad's prophethood and underscored the significance of prayer in Islam. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, built in the 7th century CE, exhibits elegant Islamic architecture with arcades, prayer halls, and domes. It stands as one of Islam's holiest sites, often called the farthest mosque. Alongside it, the Dome of the Rock, intertwined with the night journey, symbolizes the profound connection between the divine and the prophet. Both structures have undergone extensive renovations to preserve their spiritual and historical value. However, a contentious issue arises as some claim that these structures sit on the foundation of previous Jewish temples. This dispute adds complexity to discussions about the construction of the Third Temple. Debates revolve around whether the Dome of the Rock should remain or be replaced by the temple. Various opinions exist, ranging from coexistence to removal, and these decisions hinge on religious beliefs, archaeological findings, and political considerations. Recent archaeological findings have played a significant role in the ongoing narrative of Jerusalem's Temple Mount. Despite resistance, Jewish archaeologists have unearthed compelling evidence of the previous temples, reshaping our understanding of this historically charged site. One noteworthy discovery is the Pool of Siloam, uncovered in 2004 during a water pipe repair project south of Jerusalem's Old City. This ancient pool, mentioned in the New Testament Gospel of John, holds religious and historical significance as it was the site of a miracle attributed to Jesus. The excavation revealed a large stepped pool with two descending staircases, shedding light on the city's ancient water supply system. Additionally, inscriptions and pottery fragments dating to the Second Temple period were found around the pool, confirming its authenticity from around the 1st century CE. The Pool of Siloam has since been archaeologically excavated and restored, allowing visitors to access it. Its biblical connection not only enriches our archaeological knowledge, but also reinforces Jerusalem's historical and biblical context. Although not part of the temple complex, this pool played a crucial role in rituals and aspects of worship during the Second Temple period, particularly during the annual Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot. During this festival, water from the pool was drawn in a golden vessel and carried to the temple for the water libation ceremony, symbolizing God's provision of water during the Israelites' wilderness wanderings. This act of repeating the water ceremony and potentially constructing a third temple is viewed by some as a sign of faith and continuity. It reconnects past traditions with the present and offers hope for the future. The emphasis is not solely on building a physical structure, but on reviving something spiritual and cultural. The water ceremony, in particular, holds immense significance as it signifies seeking blessings and establishing a connection with a higher power. It symbolizes the belief in improvement and a promising united future. It's worth noting that the water libation ceremony occurs daily during Sukkot, with priests drawing fresh water from the Shiloh spring each morning to ensure an ample supply for this special service. During Sukkot, the religious observances continue with additional offerings known as Nuf offerings. Special psalms called Hallel, filled with praise, are recited, and there is a procession around the altar where priests carry specific plants mentioned in Leviticus 23:40. These rituals highlight the depth and unity of the festival for the Jewish people. Water holds profound significance, symbolizing salvation and life in Jewish tradition. The prophet Isaiah beautifully expressed this connection, stating, "With joy, you will draw water from the wells of salvation." In essence, water signifies life, purification, and God's blessings. In the water libation ceremony, pouring water onto the altar serves as a profound expression of gratitude to God for the life-sustaining gift of water. It is akin to a heartfelt prayer seeking divine blessings. This act also symbolizes the outpouring of God's Spirit, as referenced in the Bible in passages like Isaiah 44:3 and Joel 2:28-29. Recently, on October 12th, this ancient water ceremony was reenacted in Jerusalem. Priests and musicians led the ceremony from the Shiloh pool to the Shiloh Springs, a historically significant location. At each stop, participants sang, danced, and played silver trumpets under the guidance of respected rabbis. Upon reaching the Shiloh Springs, they collected water in a golden jug and transported it back to the mountaintop. There, they set up a model altar adorned with leafy branches, reminiscent of the old temple days. The ceremony concluded with blessings and the observance of Hakal, a special event that occurs every 7 years. Although the Torah does not mandate the water libation ceremony, it has evolved into a joyous tradition celebrated by all. In the past, it lasted 15 hours and continued throughout the night in the temple. People from around the world came to join in Sukkot celebrations, turning it into a grand day of worship. For the last 6 days of Sukkot, the water libation and wine-pouring ceremonies were performed, preserving the traditions of the temple. While the Pool of Siloam is not frequently mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, its significance in temple worship becomes apparent. Ritual purification was essential, and people would immerse themselves in the pool before entering the temple to ensure ritual purity, a prerequisite for participating in various temple activities. Its association with the biblical account of Jesus' miracle adds to its significance for Christian traditions. The pool's role as a water source for Jerusalem was vital for daily life and various ritual needs, including those related to temple worship during the Second Temple period. Now let's delve into what prophecies say about the Third Temple. Building the Third Temple isn't merely a physical need rooted in Jewish tradition. It carries profound spiritual significance that surpasses all other reasons. In Jewish theology, the concept of Shekinah plays a pivotal role in discussions about the Third Temple. Shekinah represents the divine presence or dwelling of God, derived from the Hebrew verb shekin, meaning to dwell or reside. Shekinah is not just a concept, it is fundamental in Jewish spirituality and worship. It signifies God's closeness to his people. Various rituals and practices in Jewish tradition are designed to invite or experience the presence of Shekinah during prayer or worship. Lighting Sabbath candles, reciting prayers, or studying the Torah are some ways to connect with Shekinah. However, according to Jewish beliefs, the complete experience of Shekinah cannot occur without the construction of the Third Temple. Shekinah serves as a reminder of God's proximity during moments of divine revelation, guidance, and protection. For Jews, all these experiences are intricately linked to the presence of Shekinah, which remains incomplete without the Third Temple. Exploring the spiritual significance of building the Third Temple unveils the critical role of prophecies. It extends beyond immediate worship needs, encompassing what must unfold according to these prophetic beliefs. According to these convictions, the construction of the Third Temple serves as a pivotal milestone in the fulfillment of prophecies, particularly concerning the arrival of the Messiah. The Messiah, a central figure in Jewish tradition, is expected to appear only after the Third Temple is erected. A series of events within this temple must transpire before the Messiah's arrival, making its construction an integral part of the prophetic narrative. In Judaism, the Messiah, or Mashiach in Hebrew, is envisioned as a future leader descending from the lineage of King David. His mission entails bringing ultimate redemption to the Jewish people, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity while uniting Jewish communities worldwide. Interestingly, the anticipation of the Messiah isn't exclusive to Jews. Christians also await the Messiah, whom they identify as Jesus Christ. However, Christians anticipate his second coming, believing that he has already appeared once. This shared anticipation of the Messiah adds layers of significance to the prophecies, establishing a bridge between two major faiths. The prophecies associated with the Third Temple extend beyond its mere construction. They introduce an intriguing element known as the abomination of desolation, mentioned in the books of Matthew 24:15 and Mark 13:14. Jesus discusses this event within the context of end-times prophecies, warning of a future abomination of desolation as a sign of impending destruction and judgment. The interpretation of this prophecy sparks theological debates, with some considering it a past event involving the desecration of the Second Temple by Antiochus IV, while others believe it will have a future fulfillment tied to the construction and desecration of the Third Temple in Jerusalem. The prevailing belief is that the Third Temple will be built and subsequently desecrated, leading to apocalyptic events before the Messiah's eventual arrival. While many await the Messiah and the events related to the Third Temple, attempts to facilitate its construction have been made by various groups, including certain Christian organizations. However, the timeline for the Third Temple's construction remains uncertain, primarily due to unresolved tensions surrounding the Temple Mount. The potential repercussions of hastening actions to reclaim the Temple Mount are considerable and include conflicts or even war outcomes that are universally undesirable. Consequently, current leaders such as Benjamin Netanyahu The Prime Minister of Israel at the time have opted to maintain the status quo on the Temple Mount to ensure peace and stability. Given the delicate nature of the situation, careful consideration is essential to avoid undesirable consequences. What are your thoughts on this update regarding the rebuilding of the Third Temple? Feel free to share your comments below. To continue your journey with us, we've handpicked 2 videos for you, our latest upload on the left and a recommended video just for you on the right. Your engagement motivates us to keep producing content that you love. We're looking forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, take care.